John chapter 5, and let's start with verse 5. A man was there who had been ill for 38 years, verse 6. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been a long time in that condition, he said to him, "Do you wish to get well?" We started this new series Sunday, and it is off and running, entitled Insanity. And I don't know about you, man. God just has this funny way of just whispering into my ear so I can kind of keep my hand on the pulse of the body of Christ, or those that God has given to me. When I say me, I don't say that possessively. I say that protectively. You know, I love those that God has assigned to us, man. And I'm eagerly anticipating what it is that God desires to do in and through us. God gave me this word, insanity, and when I shot it to you, you instantly said, "That's it. That's it." I shot it to Pastor Henry first, and he just exclamation pointed it. It resonated with all of our spirits. And for the purpose of this teaching, I would like to introduce two definitions. The first definition is the one we've all heard. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Now, I watched a couple weeks ago when y'all did Bible study, and thank you so much, man. I don't know who gave you permission to sit in my seat. I was watching the stream from the house. Let's not even play. This is my seat. It says PMJ right here, right? I looked, and they were teaching Bible study, and he kind of leaned over. I said, he in my seat. But no, man, seriously, man, I want to say, man, you guys did a phenomenal job. But when I'm here, I always want to push you and kind of catch you guys, because not only do I want to make sure that during our time with them, they get information, I also want them to also get a level of transparency. So I'm going to throw you in the hot seat, throw you in the hot seat, throw you in the hot seat. Somebody jump in here. Insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. What are some areas of your life where you were on a perpetual treadmill expecting God to do something new?
Well, man, I'll jump in there and be transparent. I think for me is spending money, but somehow still expecting to be able to save it. And sort of being in that perpetual cycle of not being pleased with my savings account balance, but yet I'm steady buying clothes
Yeezys.
And going out to eat.
Yeah.
And, he said Yeezys.
Yeah.
I'm steady just, buying. And so I think that's insane.
Somebody jump in there.
I think for me, the weight fluctuation, trying to say I'm gonna lose 15 pounds, or I'm gonna do this, and the eating habits don't change, and my condition don't change.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm expecting, okay, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna just binge and I'm gonna fast. I'm gonna go on a fast. And I think for me, not being able to put the work in, finding excuses not to work out, finding excuses to eat the wrong thing, making anything a day of celebrate. Well, it's Sunday, so I can have a dessert. I think I would struggle with that.
Somebody else, one more. Somebody jump in
I
there.
think with me, just always having to have this pride to do everything myself. And so learning how to delegate, learning how to trust people, it kind of lift the weight off of me, and breaking that cycle of always having to wait myself.
Insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. But secondly, for this series, it's a definition that I believe is touching so many hearts. It's doing something that makes no sense to man, but perfect sense to God. That can preach, can't it? It makes no sense to man, but perfect sense to God. Opening a church in the midst of a pandemic with no physical building makes no sense to man. But it's 70 people who said, "I hear God." And many of you don't even realize right now the reason you have to be careful. This may be worth putting in the comments. Stop telling big visions to small people. That's critical. Why, Pastor Mike? Because for many of you, God has you in a season where he's showing you things. He's releasing, downloading DNA and information for you to go to the next level in your life. And one of the main concerns I have for you is that when you don't get the affirmation from them, you turn on him. I'm going to say that again. When you don't get the affirmation from them, you turn on him. Ain't that crazy? Because can we be honest for a minute? All of us want to be affirmed by the people we love. That's critical, isn't it? All of us want to be affirmed. As the pastor of this church, there are certain sermons this past Sunday when I preach, I want to hear the people say, "Man, you did a good job this week. Pastor, you killed that. Man, you were doing well." And I want us to understand that for many of us, God has us in a season where what he's calling you to do may not make sense to man, but it will make perfect sense to God. When we found ourselves this past weekend in John chapter 5, let's start with verse 2. Now they're in Jerusalem by the sheep gate, a pool, which is called in Hebrew what? Say it again. Bethesda, tomato, having 5 portices or porches. The Hebrew word for Bethsaida means house of mercy, but also in Aramaic, it can translate to mean disgrace. Now that was so cold-blooded, and I want to sit there for a minute because I had to research the difference between Hebrew and Aramaic, and it sometimes depends on the portion of the region in which you lived. So this one word, depending on what house you went into, meant 2 different things. In this house, it meant grace. In this house, it meant shame. And what the Holy Spirit was downloading in my spirit was, Michael, be careful when you find yourself in too many houses. Too many different conversations. Be careful. Why, PMJ? Because what you get in this house may be antithetical to what God gave you in this house. Somebody jump in there. What is the thin line between the houses and what God is downloading?
Yeah, I think one of the other things that we see in the different definitions is this kind of duality between the experiences. Because even when you look at the people who are there, this pool is a place where all the sick people would gather. And what would happen is, one of the reasons that it was such a weird place is that the legend kind of told that what would happen is that as the first person got into the pool, they would be healed, but everybody else would be left to stay sick. And so right there in the same place, I think it kind of communicates to how you can have one person, 2 people in the same house, but they come out with different things.
That's good.
One person sees the grace, one sees the shame, one embraces one embraces the other. And I think one of the things that we're seeing there is this space of we can be in the right place, but if we're not in the right position or in the right mindset, we might miss it.
That's critical. So jump in now. You felt that.
I think this also talks about the principle of the place, that the quality of our life is not just tied in direct correlation to who I am, but also where I am. That God spent 6 days, 5 days creating an environment before he put man in it, because our improvement will always be tied to our environment.
Stop. The principle of the place. Put that in the comments. Who's going to be my assistant tonight? I need you to write that. The principle of the place, that sometimes it's not just who you are, but where you are. See, many people don't even realize, I put it like this when I was training a couple hundred pastors at a Pastors and Leaders Conference. I told them sometimes it's not the oil, it's the soil. Sometimes it's not the oil, it's the soil. I may not jump like I'm jumping in Birmingham had I been in Detroit. So sometimes we got to understand it's the principle of the place. Here's a good question I need you to ask yourself. Am I in the right place?
That's so good.
That's critical, isn't it? Am I trying to fit into something that I keep hearing God clearly say I don't fit in? I don't think you heard what I just said right there. Because oftentimes, I love what that text says, you have all of these people who are sick. This looks like a hospital ER waiting room. All of these people who are sick, there are a multitude of sicknesses and illnesses. You have the lame, you probably have the blind, you probably have leprosy, you probably have mute, you probably have somebody with skin lesions. What do they have in common? All of them got an issue. And they're waiting, this is so cold-blooded, on the stirring of the water. Can you put that in your notes for me? The stirring of the water. Stirring of the water. That's critical. Why? Look at verse 3. In these lay a multitude of those who were sick, blind, lame, withered. Sick, blind, lame, withered. I'm putting you guys on the spot. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Are y'all ready? We got 1,000 people watching on Facebook alone. Let's go to work. They came for a word tonight. Let's go to work, okay? We finna break down all these. I want to suggest to you that every category of sickness represents a category of people who are watching right now. We're going to take each one on the fly and break this down into a category, because what's the use of them hearing me if they don't see me? See, the gospel is not just a voice. It should also be a mirror. Did you catch what I just said? Sick, somebody say sick. So sick, he said it in the microphone, sick. So let's talk about those who were sick, all right? So sick, I like the word sick because it is a blanket term. I don't think you heard what I just said. It's a blanket term, meaning it doesn't tell me exactly what the sickness is, but they have something. So let's talk about this. What are some things that people are wrestling with right now that we could classify as sick?
I think naturally I lean into the relational world. I think some of us are sick in our relationships. Because I think when we think about sickness, I think about something being in the body that does not agree with it. And so I think one of the things that happens is that when there's sickness internally, there's always signs or symptoms externally. And I think when we look at when there's sickness internally, we see signs externally. And I think when you look at even just the relational world, I think one of the places that we see sickness is in our relationships, where we see the external proof that what's happening on the inside ain't really what it needs to be. It's not really real. It's not really solid. And because of that, I think we see the outskirts of and the outpouring of this unhealthy nature.
Sickness, something in the body that does not agree with the body. That's critical. Something in the body that does not agree with the body. Sickness, something in my life that does not agree with the call on my life. Sickness, something in my marriage that does not agree with the principles and the foundation of my marriage. Sickness, something in my finances that don't agree with my finances. Sickness, something in my diet that don't agree with my body. Sickness, something in my church that don't agree with my church. I need 7 people. This may set Instagram on fire, may set social media on fire. I need 7 of y'all to realize you've been prophesying your own issue and didn't even know it, because you've been dealing with toxic people and you've been saying to yourself, you make me sick, and didn't even realize what you were really saying. What you were really saying was, everything about you I love, but it's something about you that don't agree with who I am. And when I interact with that piece of you that don't agree with me, it makes me uncomfortable, because disease, disease, make it real simple, is dis-ease. Let's break that word down. Dis-ease. Anything that makes me uneasy or uncomfortable is a disease.
Wow. That's so good.
That job make me sick because it don't agree with the purpose God put in me. I need 7 people to just type, preacher, you talking to me tonight. Dis-ease, sick, that is a blanket term. Sick. Dealing with COVID right now, that's a sickness. We can agree, right? Yes, COVID is a sickness, but I love how they categorize it. You got symptomatic and what? Asymptomatic. Now, symptomatic means what? You have visible signs that you can, tangible proof that something is not agreeing with my body. Asymptomatic means what? Ain't nothing in your body screaming, but it's present.
That's good.
See, a runny nose is your body saying something wrong. A cough is your body saying something's wrong. Allergies is your body screaming something wrong. The problem with most of the people watching me right now, you're asymptomatic spiritually.
Jesus.
We got too many asymptomatic spiritual people walking around who got pride, but since there's no physical sign, you contagious and don't even know it. I'm preaching to somebody. That's why your last relationship didn't work, because your ex was asymptomatic. They was messy, but they had no proof. They were a liar and didn't have no symptoms. They were a cheater and didn't have no symptoms. And then you caught a headache, you caught pain, you caught feelings, and couldn't wonder where it came from, because you're dealing with people who may not have no outward signs.
That's good, man.
Woo! I ain't gonna scream Michael yet, it ain't time. Dis-ease. Somebody say dis-ease. It is something that does not agree. I don't want to be asymptomatic. One of the greatest traits I have is being able to quickly identify my blind spots. Did you catch that? Quickly identify. Now let's talk about this. Somebody say disease. If you're watching, insanity. This is not a screen, so I need somebody to be my assistant and write it. Insanity is seeing, how can I say this? Y'all help me define this. Insanity is seeing the signs and ignoring them. Is that a cool working definition?
I like that.
Insanity is seeing the signs and ignoring them. That's critical. Sick, here's another definition. There lay a multitude of those who were sick. Let's just jump off that. Blind. Blind. Jump in there, Curtis. Blind. What does it mean to be blind?
Well, what it means to be blind, in my opinion, is the problem staring you right in the face, but you choosing not to see it. It's kind of leaning to what you just said. Absolutely. And so dealing with knowing that you have an issue that God has clearly pointed out through situations, through relationships, but you choose because of pride, because pride blinds us. And so as a result, we end up ignoring the very thing God is showing us.
I'm pushing back, Kurt. I can't take that. I'm pushing back. I can't go with that, because I like, it's one word in your definition I can't agree with, and it's choose. It's choose. I haven't met a blind person who chose to be blind. See, blindness isn't something you choose to pick. You pick. Blindness is something you don't even realize is happening. A colorblind individual don't know he got on a black and a green sock.
Wow.
He doesn't have a choice in what he put on because of his issue.
That's good. Yeah. That's so good.
Blind. What are some areas I'm going to put y'all on the spot. I'm finna put y'all in the spot. I'm finna come. We gonna let's go to Pastor Kurt. Oh, this is good. What are some areas you think he blind in? Because he can't tell me where he blind, because he can't see it.
Wow, come on, pick on me.
Come on, jump in there. What are some areas you think he blind in?
That's good.
You want me to jump in there? I don't think you see you right. Gifted, anointed, charismatic, can sing, can write, handsome, got all of these great things going, and sometimes you just pull back like I might not be good enough. Woo, it's getting good in here, ain't it? Hollis, what are some areas he's blind in?
Help me, please.
Help him.
I would say something similar. I think I don't think Hollis sees himself as the leader that God has called him to be.
Absolutely not. I don't agree with that one. I don't. I can see. That's your view. Hey, I see. I don't see this baby Jordan. I just see too much on him. Somebody else, some areas. Talk to him. Let's talk to him. Let's jump in there. Curtis, look at him. What areas he's blind in? Live at Bible study. Let's go.
I would say at times you can overshoot, if that can kind of be a word. He's gotten better at it, but still there are times, because there's this proving nature, there's an overshooting at times where you try to prove that, look, God has placed an anointing on my life, and so before I back down, I would exemplify that God has chose me to do what God has called me to be.
Let me show you what's crazy. From Pastor Harry saying there are times when he doesn't see the leader in him, to you saying he's probably too bold at times. So why did I get two perspectives? Because you got two eyes.
Wow.
And it's possible to have a stigma in one.
Wow, that's good.
Just because everything good on this side,
So good.
don't mean it's always good on this side.
Good.
Blind. What's some areas I'm blind in?
That's good. That's good.
Don't nobody want to talk to me? Don't nobody want to talk to me? You're not going to get fired. You're not going to get fired.
Pastor D, you got it.
Well, I'm good then, huh?
That's good.
Well, I receive. I tell you, I can feel like one of the areas I'm blind in myself. I think I'm blind sometimes I am blind to my limits. I feel like sometimes I'm blind to my limits. Because God has been so good, I think he's always good. That's a heavy statement I think you missed. Sometimes because God has always made a way, I jump out there and stuff probably I shouldn't be in because I know he gonna catch me.
Wow.
Blind, blind. Let's deal with another one. Lame, lame. What does lame mean?
I think that's good. Like lame in a sense of not being able to move when you need to.
Yes.
Your mind.
That's good, Hollis.
Your mind saying let's go, but your body saying no. You knowing that it's time for you to jump out of something, but something keeps you stuck. I think we see that spiritually and naturally.
Somebody jump in there.
It
Lame.
makes me think about Mephibosheth when they called him lame in both feet.
Yeah.
It was literally a local colloquialism that he had been dropped on his head.
Yeah.
He was lame in his feet because his head didn't work. And many times there's paralysis by analysis, that sometimes we're stuck because of our mindsets, the way we think. And so when I look at this text, you see a man who's paralyzed sitting at a pool who can't move. And so it's like this Pool of Bethesda or Bethesda represents a place or area in your life where you may be stuck.
Yeah.
Let's argue with that. I don't want to say stuck, D. Let's push. Let's battle. Can we battle? Nome just took place. I still got a little battle in me. So let's talk about this now, because D said it represents a place that you're stuck. I want to push back and say it represents a place where you're still hoping. Because he was brought there in anticipation. Look at the scripture. Because the angel of the Lord would come down at a certain season into the pool and do what? Stir the water. Now we know the Bible does not speak of this tradition nowhere. How do we know this Bible does not speak of this tradition? Because in the NASB version, it gives you verses 3 and 4. King James gives you verses 3 and 4. When you go NLT and Message, it goes from 3 to 5. It omits verse 4 because it took it out in the latest translations because they could find no proof of this superstition. This is critical now. I want to challenge you. I want to say that he was not just stuck, D. He was placed at the place of his expectation.
Wow.
That's critical. Jump in there.
Okay.
Jump in there.
So I want to go maybe a little deeper into that because you made me think about something that not only is this him being stuck in a place of hope, but I want to say that lame may be you being stuck or placed in a position where you're counting on the wrong thing.
That's good.
Like, so he's lame, so he's stuck waiting on somebody to do for him what God is saying my relationship with you is supposed to do for you.
That's good.
He's waiting on somebody to pick him up and put him in the pool when God is saying, no, if you would trust me, I'm going to be the one to give you this healing.
This is good. He's waiting on an angel to stir the waters. I want to push you. Man of God, man of God, man of God, man of God, man of God. I want to push you. What if Jesus, being the greatest preacher there is, all right? I want to challenge you right here. What if the angel represents the minister? Because the Bible also says that the word can trouble, stir up the waters. Hear me. So what if the 21st century representation of this particular man is people coming to church waiting on their pastor to do what only God can do? What if the 20, which is why in a part of me I thank God. I said, God, you done closed down the church, but the word's still going forth. Because too many people will come into church expecting me to fix what only God can fix. Now, you want to know the problem? I see, we got to break and jump in there. Come on.
That's so good, PMJ, because if you think about it, I don't even know if he was waiting on the water because his response wasn't that he was waiting on the water. It was that he was waiting on somebody to help him put him in. But everybody else there was sick. So he expected other sick people to help him. And I think that happens a lot of time in church.
Jesus.
We all come in here because we all sick in some area of our life. We all got some issues. We're sick. But it's like stop depending on sick people to help do what only God can do. Like we all sick. Like ain't nobody sick gonna help you get free and they still bound. Ain't nobody, it's like you can't expect other sick people to do what only God can do. So his response, matter of fact, he didn't even answer. He talking to the healer, and he making excuses for why other people haven't put him in. He say, listen, sir, I have nobody to trouble. He gave him 2 excuses. First of all, he said that he had nobody to put him in. Second one, he said he tried it and it didn't work because he tried to get down, but somebody got there before he did. He said somebody beat him to the water. So a lot of times we're lame or paralyzed for 2 reasons. It's either because, we don't feel like we got the help we need. The second reason could be, we tried it and we failed. We didn't get there in time.
Do me a favor.
But this will bless me.
Okay, go back. Go.
But this will bless me because I went downtown. I went to get something to eat, right? So he was saying he didn't get there first. And so I got to the restaurant. I barely got there before it closed, PMJ. Man, I got in there, and I walked in. The owner took my order, brought my food back. He said, so I pulled out my debit card. He said, no, you my last customer tonight. He said, don't worry about it. It's on the house. So at that moment, when I was looking at this table he was preaching, I said, God said that you may not have got there first, but when you do get there, it's not going to cost you as much.
It's on the house.
You're not going to have to go through what they went through. It's not going to cost you what it costs everybody else. So I might not be first, but when I get there, it's not going to cost as much.
Let me preach for a minute. I need 7 people who've been frustrated because it's been taking you a while to walk into your destiny to just type, it's on the house.
It's on the house.
That's the wrong somebody. I want to decree and declare, Pastor, I don't have the money saved for the down payment. When you get there, they're going to say paid in full. Why? It's on the house. 7 people ought to just air high five somebody and shout, it's on the house, it's on the house, it's on the house, it's on the house, it's on the house.
On the house.
Listen to what he said. There was so much meat in what he said. He said, there's nobody there to put me in the pool. Who's the attendants of the sick people? Yeah. So he was actually so insane. He had so much insanity that he was actually convinced, that's a victim mentality, that the brother who blind was going to stop trying to get his sight to help me get my legs. I don't think you heard what I just said. I want to free you because somebody right now is dealing with some insanity and you are mad at family members who didn't help you when you didn't even stop to think, could they even help themselves? I can't believe that it helped me pay this bill. They barely can pay their bills. A lot of you, insanity is expecting from broken people wholeness. Do I need to say that again? Insanity is expecting from broken people wholeness, which is why I'm pushing everybody listening to me to get counseling. Marital counseling. Pastor here and his wife do a phenomenal job at premarital counseling. I would suggest that for everybody, because many of you, your relationship is insane. It's because you're expecting them to be your wife, your mama, your healer, your shelf, and your nurse. I can't expect wholeness from broken people. Insanity. Insanity, insanity. And I want you to catch this now, because he says, I want you to catch this. They were waiting on the stirring of the waters. That's so critical. The stirring of the waters. For an angel of the Lord went down at certain seasons into the pool and stirred up the water. Whoever then first, after the stirring up of the water, stepped in was made well from whatever disease which he was afflicted. Now, I see problems in that text. Y'all are men of God. We're going to always go precept by precept, line upon line. Look at that scripture right there. It says, whoever stepped in was made what? Well. No, well. You almost said it, preacher. He was made what? Well, not whole. Did you catch that? That superstition promised to fix your issue, not fix you. What do we see? When Jesus fixed stuff, he fixed you, then he fixes it. Insanity is praying for God to fix it before I ask God to fix me. Did you catch that? Insanity is praying for God to fix it before I ask God to fix me. You have a classic case of insanity, per Pastor Mike Jr. and all of us here at Rock City, when you spend more time praying about your spouse than you do you. You have a classic case of insanity when you spend more time complaining about your job than you do seeking God. Insanity says fix it. Sanity says fix me. Because if God fixed me by default, am I talking to anybody tonight? By default, he got to fix it. This man, it was a man there who had been ill, this is good, for 38 years. What does the number 38 mean? Anybody know? 38. Let's research that. We got Google. Let's research it. What is the number 38? That's so cold-blooded. If we break that number down, 3 is the number of Trinity, the signature of God. 8 is new beginnings. Here's a man who's been waiting on a signature for his new beginning. Here's a man with a check called healing, but it ain't been signed yet. Here's a man on the doorstep of a breakthrough, but he done got approved yet. Here's a brother, 3 being the number of Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the signature of God, all right? 8 being the number of new beginnings. He has been sick, waiting on his new beginning, but it ain't been signed off yet. Sick for 38 years. We don't know his genealogy. We don't know his name. We don't necessarily, say it again, D, you like that? What does it mean?
The number 38 means deals in reference with slavery or having complete control or dominance over an individual or group.
38. So here's a brother who's been ill for 38, waiting on liberation. Systemic oppression. That's critical, isn't it? Waiting. We don't know his genealogy. We don't know who his mommy and daddy is. We don't know his theology, if he even believes in Jesus, because when we find him, he's believing in superstition. We don't find him at a revival. We find him on a porch. That's critical now. What do we know about him? We know his geography and his pathology. His geography, he is situated and acculturated at a pool, at a porch. His pathology, this brother is sick. What do we see, Pastor Mike? When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been a long time in that condition, he said to him, do you wish to get well? Do you wish, it's something in my ear just a little bit, Jay. Do you wish to get well? That is so important, because the question is, this is critical. Jesus rose up, and I said this past weekend, and we almost had good church when I said this, D. I literally said, Jesus rose up on the scene, looks at this brother and says, do you wish to get well? Nowhere in the text does he ever say this man's name. Which means, I hope you catch this, had I been in attendance, I would have answered for the brother. That's critical, ain't it, James? Because if he don't put a name on it, it means it's out there for anybody. It's out there for anybody. He doesn't say Lazarus come forth. He does not. He says, no, do you wish, Daryl, to be made well? My dad raised me on 4 questions I want to ask you today, and let's unpack these. What do you want? 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 That is so critical. What do you want? I think this is so critical, and I was tripping over this particular part, Jay, of the sermon. I was tripping over this particular part of the sermon last night because I was re-listening to the sermon, kind of seeing some different things that I saw in the text. And one thing that kind of touched my spirit that I pray you guys can receive, I believe, I kept asking myself, why would God ask him, do you want to get well? And I thought about it. I see a principle. You remember that brother who was at the gate, right? Yeah. At the gate, begging people for money. Yeah. And Peter says to him, silver and gold have I none. He should have been asking for what? Healing. But he was so insane, that might be next week's message. He couldn't even ask for the right stuff. What happens when I've been in what I'm in so long, I'm no longer seeking healness. I'm just trying to make a living out of my brokenness. Yeah. No, say that. I'm trying to make a living. I'm not trying to get out of my issue. I'm now making a living off my issue. That's good. Did you catch what I just said? You'll be surprised how many people don't want to be helped. They want pity. Wow. You'll be surprised how many people don't actually want to be better. They like people taking care of them. I don't want, the strongest person in the world is the person who don't like asking nobody for help. They will get up and do whatever they got to do to make some stuff happen. Jesus looks at a brother. It's obvious I want to be made whole because I'm at this pool. Well, not necessarily. Because tradition also teaches us that people would throw coins at beggars, throw coins at the sick. That might be a popular place for pity. You'd be surprised how many people come to church that didn't come for church. You'd be surprised how many people showed up on your porch that you might need to go back and ask, what do you want?
It's so good. I think you can have seasons and you can go through so many years of being in one condition that you can actually lower your expectation to your current reality to where you feel like, okay, healing that's not going to be my portion, but can I at least get something in my cup? And I think we can become...
Stop! Oh my God. He said healing may not be my portion, but can I at least get something in my cup? Keep going.
I think as we lower our expectation to where we've been for so long, we can become addicted to our affliction. So we always go to, well, I didn't have a daddy, or I didn't have a mama, or I don't have good credit. How am I start a business? But when you're talking about insane faith, insanity, it's doing what God told you to do, even if it breaks tradition, even if you're the first one in your family to do it.
Jesus.
Can I jump in there?
Jump in.
I think we also see the power of a question. That this is what I call prophetic questions, that sometimes we want God to send someone to send prophetic solutions or prophetic answers, when sometimes the greatest thing God can give you is a question. That many times we want answers. When answers give you information, questions release transformation. When if Jesus would have gave him the answers, he would have been teaching them. But because he asked him a question, he started coaching them. Teaching pours in. Coaching pulls out. And many times we look at Jesus asking him this question, do you wish to be made well? He's literally assessing how much damage has this place done to your faith.
Jesus Christ. Do y'all hear what he's saying? That's my brother. Oh, me and D beating y'all tonight. He said there's a difference between teaching and coaching. Yeah. Teaching and coaching. Pastor Mike, why are you putting all of these amazing gifts around you? Think about that. Why are you trying to birth other churches when you ain't even got your church where it need to be yet? Because I realize I got too many people at the pool for just one person. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Which is why we're finna start pulling on our elders so much. I'm so excited about these morning calls because there are too many teachers and coaches that got to come forth. Yeah. Prophetic questions. Adam,
where art thou?
Where art thou? Can these bones live? Prophetic. Moses, what's that? That's a series. Go ahead and put that in your notes. Prophetic questions. Prophetic questions. That's a series this fall. We coming to that. Because this is critical. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? That is so critical. Pastor Curtis, as you embark in this journey, I'm so proud of you, man. From the depths of my soul, I am so proud of you. As you embark on this journey, you got to answer this question to God, not just me. What do you want? What do you want? One thing I've tried my best to do with Pastor Hollins, because he gets to see me in a lot of different arenas, I try to always be honest with him on what I want. What I want. Too many people lying, because if you tell God a lie, then he got to bless the lie. If you tell him a lie, then he blessed the lie, then the truth don't happen. Then what do you want? What do you want? Well, I just want to sing a song and I pray it just blesses some people. No, I want to do that, but I also want some money. I also want this song to travel the world. I want a one award. I don't want to be so false humble that I say, well, as long as I get there, anyway you bless. No, what do you want? What do you want? Well, I just want somebody to spend the rest of my life with. You're going to get somebody.
Wow.
What do you want? Homework. You got to be clear and concise on what you want.
That's good.
What do you want? I want cities. I want cities. I want you to go to Montgomery and go to Destiny City. I want you to go to Tuscaloosa, and we praying about changing the name of Tuscaloosa, and it's another city. I want cities situated and acculturated all over this country. I want to be able to give people a platform, but also give you something. Curtis, we could have slapped Rock City on that. But every man should at least have something that is his. So I want to be able to say no, which is why I can stand boldly on this stream and say, if you need me premarital counseling, I need you to call, because that's an area he walks in. I want to be, what do you want? See, when you clear on what you want, you don't get intimidated by other folks' wants.
That's good.
And rewind, let's go backwards. I got to push back, James. Maybe he would, well, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Maybe his insanity in asking somebody else, expecting somebody else to put him in the pool, was because he was comfortable to realize we didn't want the same stuff. What if he sat there and said, you know what, my leg's broke, and although he got a cough, he can cough for another 6 months. See, insanity is when you start assessing other people's sicknesses. I'm teaching tonight. Insanity is when you start assessing other people's sicknesses and comparing testimonies. Comparing testimonies. Well, I ain't trying to be fun. I know you went through a breakup, but y'all was only together 5 months. That ain't that deep. I got divorced. No, they 5-month relationship may mean more to them than your 20-year marriage. Y'all miss what I need to log off. We preaching tonight. This might be why the system crashed and we couldn't even start church on time, because the devil knew somebody was getting out of something tonight. The devil knew somebody was breaking a cycle tonight. The devil knew it was some systematic oppression and some generational curses that God was getting ready to break. I come to declare that insanity is about to be lifted off your life, and God's about to do exceeding and abundantly. Somebody just type and say, I receive that. Let me wrap this up tonight. This is good, isn't it? For 38 years, he says, do you want it? 4 questions my father raised me on. And it might be good. It might be good, man. That'll be good to kind of get him on and kind of talk about those 4 things. This is his stick, or this is his go-to message. And I want to say this right now, because in our family group text this week, I got confronted by my family members because I said these 4 things my dad said, and my sister put in the family group text, Mike on there stealing your sermon, daddy. And everybody talking about some Mike so deep when that's really your sermon. So Angelique, I want to make sure I make this very clear. My dad came up with these 4 things. Is that cool? That's family mess right there. Number 1, what do you want? I need you to answer that question. Number 2, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? This brother didn't want it bad enough to me. He tried and didn't get there. I want to ask you a question. I always see the Bible vividly. I see the Bible vividly. If that carpet is the pool, and I tried this year and didn't make it, and I tried the next year and didn't make it, by default, if I keep trying, I'm closer than where I was. So my question now becomes, and that's why I wish I was there, did he fail, then leave? Here's what's crazy. It says the angel would come when? Certain season, certain time, certain season. What's fall? What month is fall? October. What month is winter? November. What month is spring? March is. What month is summer? Okay, can I ask y'all a question? He didn't say in the fall. Y'all never thought about this, which means he had to possibly live at that porch, waiting on a certain season. I don't know when it's gonna happen. So I wonder if he went home one week, then word got back. Man, you know this Thursday, the water got stirred. Jimmy got his elbows clean. Certain season. Insanity is living at a failed place, expecting a different result. Failed place. Jump in there, I can see it.
I think one of the things I want to think about is the wrestle with comfort.
That's good.
Because these porches, they were covered porches that allowed the sick people to stay out of the sun while they waited. And what if he's sitting under the porch because he's trying to avoid the sun, when maybe passion should have told him, why not just stay in the water? And so instead of being in this place where he knows the blessing is coming, he stays off at a distance so that he can be more comfortable, so that he can be comforted by the others who may be in his condition. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna stay down here so that when the water gets stirred, I'm already in it. I ain't gotta get to it, because if I stay ready, I ain't gotta get ready. And so if he just stays down there, maybe he gets it, but instead he pulls back and says, you know what, let me stay up here where it's comfortable. And yes, I might miss it, but at least I'll enjoy it while I miss it.
Yeah. That makes me think about when it says hope deferred makes the heart sick. And sometimes people misinterpret that as if you've been hoping for a long time and it hasn't worked out, when many times it's you placing your hope in the wrong thing or the wrong place. Could it be that he was hoping for the water to move when he should have been believing for Jesus to stop? And sometimes we shout over the moves of God, when I've learned how to shout and praise God for when he stopped. For the seasons when I was stuck, he stopped where I was and met me where I was.
There was a woman who had been bleeding for 12 long years. And she thought to herself, if I can just touch the hem of his garment. She reached out and touched him. Jesus stopped and said, who touched me? There were 5,000 plus men, not including women and children, who hadn't eaten anything. Jesus stopped and asked a prophetic question. How are we gonna feed these people? There was a woman who everybody in the city knew she was a hot girl. Everybody in the city knew to keep your man away from her. She had such a reputation that she even knew about it, that when most people would go to the well to get their water, she had to wait till it was hot in the noon to go. She couldn't go at the morning because they would ridicule her. So to save embarrassment, she had to go at the worst possible time. But the worst time to them was the best time, because she had no idea he was about to stop. I'm crying, Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry. And while on others thou art calling, Master, do not stop. Don't forget to stop by me. Man, I don't know what you're going through. We got so much more we can keep going to, but I feel God saying stop right there. There's some cycles you got to break off your life. Perpetual cycles of dissatisfaction and dysfunction. Dr. King said it so brilliantly. He said, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality tied to a single garment of destiny, that whatever impacts you directly impacts me indirectly, meaning that if we're in covenant, my house can't be broken and don't think leakage is not gonna hit your house. That if we're in covenant, we can't argue and think it's not gonna impact our spirit and our atmosphere. If we're in covenant, I can't say, God, do it for me, and not say, Lord, do it for them. I break every negative cycle over your life, over our lives. God, you up to something fresh, something new. God, I pray right now that our minds are whole. Give us the faith, the clarity,